scoreboard is coming up after this word from your local station. On CBS, Ian Eagle along with Mark May. That second quarter, all of a sudden, the Kansas City offense really came alive. We didn't see it in the first quarter.
Not at all. They were able to move the ball vertically down the field of play. Big plays to Sylvester Morris really woke the offense up.
You look at the running game, and it's not quite what we've come to expect from Kansas City, but if you can set up the pass, obviously the run will come with it because the defense has to respect you vertically.
Well, San Diego cannot put 8 men in the box, bringing up the safety Rodney Harrison to put pressure on the running game. They've got to drop him back now. He's got to cover for the 2 cornerbacks that they have that are backup cornerbacks playing for the San Diego Chargers at this point of the game. So now this running game and the running attack for Kansas City should open up in the second half.
What about Moses Moreno getting an opportunity to start? Ryan Leaf benched. Not his fault per se, but he has been under pressure throughout the game.
He has been under pressure. 4 sacks by the defense of the Kansas City Chiefs. And here, the players around him have to step up when you're dropping passes that he puts on the money. When he makes a big play and rolls out of the pocket to make something happen, and the other players do not step up to help him, that's the problem for the San Diego Charger offense. And the players around him have to make plays.
Well, you see the halftime numbers, total yards, Kansas City, just a dominating effort, 186 and only 49 for the Chargers. Time of possession in the favor of the Chiefs as well, but really up until the final couple of minutes of that second quarter, it was still San Diego leading. John Carney will kick it off. Kimball Anders and Kevin Lockett are deep. Larry Parker suffering a lower back contusion. This will be Lockett from the 1. Here's Lockett peering to the outside, trying to find an angle, and Lockett is down at the 26. A 25-yard return, and Tony Darden making the stop on special teams for the Chargers. So Kansas City will get the football to start play here in the third quarter, and they own a 14-10 lead. Jeff Blackshear is back in the lineup for Kansas City. Donald Willis had stepped in that first half, and Elvis Gerback, he really needed that second quarter for a confidence boost.
Oh, without a doubt. Now he believes in his offense and the way that they've executed in the second quarter. He'll spread the ball out, but they will pound the ball with the running game.
On first down, low throw intended for Derek Alexander. And Alexander had some words for Junior Seau following the play.
I have not a lot of words because Junior picked him up with one hand at the end of the play, and he turned around. He thought it was a defensive back. When he turned around and saw it was Mr. Seau, I think there was an apology at the end of the play. Keep an eye on 55. He picks him up with one hand right there and shows him back, and he turns around and sees this Junior Seau and says, "Oh, excuse me, Mr. Seau, I made a mistake there. I thought you were a DB. Yeah, thought you were a DB."
Alexander, touchdown receptions in each of the first 2 games of the regular season. Gerback steps up, deflected. Tony Richardson, the intended receiver, Orlando Rush, had the coverage. It'll be 3rd and 10.
The Kansas City Chiefs offense, they're not wasting time in the second half. They're coming out firing, and this isn't the Kansas City offense you're used to seeing. You're used to seeing this offense cloud around, run the ball between the tackles, but now they've opened it up a little bit for Elvis Gerback. They're taking their shots down the field of play. I think it's good for the offense because it's stretching the defense, and it will pay off in the end of the third and the fourth quarter.
Dime package for the Chargers on a 3rd and 10. Gerback thrown into a crowd and incomplete. It was intended for Alexander. Darrell Lewis had an opportunity to maybe pick it off.
Nice break by Darrell Lewis on the play. On the outside, you see Alexander with his move. He breaks on the ball. Good coverage on the outside. He's on his inside shoulder. That's where you have to play the slant pattern, on the inside shoulder as a defensive back. Nice coverage by Darrell Lewis.
Gerback was perfect on his previous 7 passes before this drive, and he went 0 of 3. Sauerbrunn, he and Bennett are just exchanging booming punts from the 20. Jacquet. And Nate Jacquet is forced down to the grass at the 25. Andre O'Neal with a hit. 54-yard punt, a 6-yard return. And the Chargers get the football when we come back.
Hey, Daddy.
Introducing the new 200 horsepower Chrysler Seabrings. Sedan, convertible, and coupe. They beg to be driven.
You've heard about it, read about it, but Monday night, you'll find out if it really tastes like chicken.
You guys are right.
Survivor, Back to the Island, CBS Monday.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
14-10, Kansas City leading San Diego with 14:25 to play in the third quarter. And the Chargers taking over on offense, 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Play calling has been questioned so far on this young season for both teams, in fact, as Kenny Bynum gets the carry and tried to kick it to the outside. Donnie Edwards, whose name hasn't been called all that much, with a stop. Kansas City defense, it's been one of the major storylines here today.
Pressure in the middle and on the outside. Over the top is the rookie Greg Wesley on the next play. Coming right at you. Dan Williams just splits the center in the left guard. Riley Roundtree. Here's the next play. If you're quarterback Moses Moreno, you don't have time to throw the football because it's a TE stunt coming right at you. Eric Hicks on the side.
Fletcher sets up as a receiver on a 2nd and 8. Moreno, hard count. Throwing underneath the coverage, and Fletcher makes something happen. A first down for San Diego. 12 yards on the catch and run. Jerome Woods with a stop, the free safety.
And if you want to talk about poise, here's the situation. Ramones Moreno, 3rd year in the NFL. He's audible in a play in Arrowhead Stadium. Then he comes up and he hard counts. This is poise. He looks at the defense, reads his coverage, looks to his left. He knows where he's going to throw the ball. Here comes the blitz. Get rid of the football. But both feet were planted on the ground. Good mechanics by Moses Moreno.
Weighed 160 pounds his senior year of high school. Moreno now checks in at 205. A lot of pressure that Moreno has had to deal with. This time Chester McLaughlin with the push. And Moreno was forced to float it to the outside.
Outstanding pressure by the defensive front. Kurt Schottenheimer, the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's thin. He's got a lot of injuries at the corner and defensive end position. They only have 2, but he's come up with a scheme to put pressure on the offense.
Lost the ball to go backwards. 2nd down.
Now the question was that a backward pass? They ruled it incomplete. It was not something that was done on purpose by Moreno, who was dealing with the heat. So now a 2nd and 10.
Here's another look at it, a quick look. From Moreno, he turns to the right and throws the ball. He's hit as he throws it. Good call by the officiating.
Fletcher again sets up on the outside. McCrary is in the backfield. Here's Moreno. Good throw to Conway. And Curtis Conway is twirled down at the 46 by Pat Dennis. 8-yard gain. Conway had 2 1,000-yard receiving seasons with the Chicago Bears. California native.
He wanted to come back to Southern California and play. This is where he started playing his college football and had an opportunity to come back here and play. He's also playing with his wide receiver coach here with San Diego Chargers, and it was a natural fit for him to come back to San Diego.
A lot of rumors he was going to sign with the Raiders, but he elected to hook on with the Chargers. A 4-year deal. On the bootleg, Moreno. And Moses Moreno slides down at the 39-yard line, 12 yards on the ground. And a new set of downs for San Diego to work with.
And this is a great job of hiding the football from the defense. He fakes the ball to his right, turns and goes back to his left. The entire defense is going with the flow of the play. They don't keep their eye on Moreno because he does an outstanding job of hiding the football on the quarterback bootleg.
The funny part about this San Diego team, Mark, Moses Moreno came into training camp. Could have been the number 1 quarterback, 2 quarterback, or 3 quarterback.
That doesn't happen much in the NFL. 9 times out of 10, you're the guy when the season starts.
Play action. Moreno able to dump it off. Here's Fletcher. Little juke move. He's forced out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Just shy of a first down. Gained about 8, maybe 9, depending upon the spot. And now the Chargers moving the football.
What San Diego's doing, they're giving their quarterback, Moses Moreno, easy plays. Dump it off to your back. Fletcher is the type of guy, he's not going to get you 100 yards a game banging it in there. He's their third down receiver. So you put him in on first down and second down, flare him out to the flat, let your quarterback drop back and dump the ball to him. It builds the confidence of the quarterback, Moses Moreno.
McLaughlin goes to the sideline. Derek Ransom and Steve Martin check in defensively for Kansas City. Moreno on a 2nd and 2. Handoff. Fletcher. And Terrell Fletcher unable to escape out of the backfield. Marvcus Patton among those in on the play. And give some credit to Eric Hicks as well.
The San Diego Charger offensive line, they're used to a 250-pound, 60-pound bruiser. Fletcher's only 196 pounds, but penetration by the defense, stuffing the offense in the backfield, that allows this play to be stymied at the line of scrimmage. Look at the red jerseys around the play. Too many red jerseys, not enough white jerseys out there blocking for the running back.
Lou Bush going against his former teammates with the San Diego Chargers, and he told us that, hey, they left on business terms, but we didn't get the sense it was on good terms. Little extra incentive for him. Play clock winding down. Little flip, and Fletcher couldn't handle it. On a 3rd and 4, they went for the flip. At 4th down, facing Mike Riley and company.
And it's tough for a quarterback in this situation to come in and try to call an audible, get your offensive set, just come back. It's a quick drop, dump the ball to the outside, but he didn't have his feet set. If you look at Moreno's feet, they weren't set when he threw the ball. He was still backing up. He couldn't put the ball where he wanted to place it.
Carney tied a career long with a 54-yarder earlier. This from 51 yards away. Chargers trying to inch closer. Carney's kick. No good, off to the left. He cashed in from 54 in the first half, but from 51, Carney unable to put points on the board. 14-10, Chiefs.
The all-new Chrysler Sebring sedan. Proof that it's not the destination, it's the drive. Now lease the Chrysler Sebring LX sedan for $259 a month.
Avaya, communication without boundaries.
He has more championship rings than he has fingers, 11 in all. You could call him the greatest winner in the history of professional sports, or you could just call him Bill Russell.
When you're an original, you do it your own way. Original Coors.
Original Coors. Or you could just call it an original.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level. And by Chrysler, we're reinventing the passion for driving.
'80th regular season meeting between the Chiefs and the Chargers as Mike Cloud gets the carry on a 1st and 10 from the 41. And he was able to force his way forward for a gain of 2. Orlando Ruff, the middle linebacker, will be given credit for the stop.
Marvcus Patton on the sidelines. Marcus has had an outstanding career. That's a player that's never missed a game in his career. High school, college, pro. UCLA was a former walk-on. Goes to the Buffalo Bills as a late draft pick. Goes to Super Bowls with the Bills.
Here's Gerback, deep drop, throwing on a timing pattern, and incomplete. Alexander was there on the far side. Darrell Lewis with the coverage. Lewis, the former Houston Oiler, signed as a free agent with the Chargers in 1999. 32 career interceptions. He actually led the team last year with 4 picks.
One thing the Chargers are doing is they have different packages. They're trying to package the Chargers to death. First down, you get Mike Cloud. You get a 2 running backs. Second down, you split them out. You put wide receivers now. Third down, 3 wide receivers. You get a running back in the backfield. Only 1 back in Richardson.
On a 3rd and 8. Chiefs leading at 14-10. Gervac stepping forward, avoiding the rush, and dumping it off for Gonzalez. Big gainer for Tony Gonzalez. He's forced out of bounds at the 25. Rogers, Beckett chased him down, and that's the big play that these fans have been waiting for from their Pro Bowl tight end.
And for Tony Gonzalez, if you're a defender, you find out where he is. Junior Seau, 55, comes down the blitz. The offensive line does a magnificent job of pinning everything down. Elvis Gerbach's able to step up, and there he is. Tony Gonzalez, wide open. Where's the defenders? They usually double cover him. But on this play, it's just Tony Gonzalez wide open. Picks up big yardage after the catch. Those yak yards after catch.
And now a 1st and 10, line of scrimmage, just shy of the 24. Double tight end set. Gerbach, play fake. Gerbach forced to roll out, trying to buy some extra time, and could not make the connection with Frank Moreau, the running back. Al Fontenot was among the Charger defensive players that did get into the pocket area and forced Gerbach to get out on the move.
And this is what you'd like as an offense. When you run that play-action pass, you want the defense to respect your running game. The defensive line didn't. They went directly after Elvis Gerbach. They attacked the line of scrimmage. El Fontenot out last week with a sprained calf. Comes in, makes a play, collapses the pocket, and chases the quarterback and rushes his throw.
Clock stops with a 2nd and 10. On the give, Moreau. Little extra effort, and he was able to gain a couple more than it would have been. Give him 3 yards on the carry. And that tailback position for the Kansas City Chiefs, we are yet to see anybody spring forward, either Cloud or Moreau. Richardson more like a fullback who's been a bit of a hybrid, playing both spots.
Well, and it's been since 1991 that the Chiefs have had a 1,000-yard running back.
Christian Okoye.
And that's been a long time.
Yep.
The platoon thing, it keeps your backs fresh, but it also eliminates your backs from getting the flow of the game. Picking up blitzes, hitting the correct holes of the offensive line, opens them up on specific plays.
A 3 wide receiver look on a 3rd and 6 from the 20, and Gerbach takes a timeout. Just over 8 minutes to play. 3rd quarter. Kansas City 14, San Diego 10. We're coming back to Arrowhead.
Today at IBM.com, we're talking about the ThinkPad A20. Huge 15-inch screen.
Keeping track of the running back breakdown, Richardson seeing most of the action in the first half, but here in the second half, it's been Moreau and Cloud.
And Richardson's a guy that needs to touch the ball more. He's the guy with the most experience in that backfield, and I think he's got the ability to move the pile a little bit better than the other guys.
On the field right now, it's Richardson on a 3rd and 6. Gerbach waiting, connecting. Alexander moving forward to the 8-yard line, and a 1st down for Kansas City. 1st and goal inside the 10. They picked up 12.
I am not a pretty play by Elvis Gerbach. That wasn't a pretty throw. It was down. It was to the opposite side where the back was going, but a fantastic job by the snot blowers right here, the offensive lineman. Look at Elvis Gerbach. He plants, looks to his left. Not there. Wants to throw it again. Not there. The 3rd time is the charm. He puts the ball. It's a little low, but Alexander comes up with a reception for the 1st down. Great patience on the part of Elvis Gerbach of waiting the route out.
On a 1st and goal now, inside the 10-yard line. Gerbach looking to throw it to the end zone. Morris is there. Touchdown, Kansas City. A coming out party for the rookie from Jackson State. 2nd touchdown of the day for Morris. 3rd touchdown pass for Elvis Gerbach. And the Chiefs extend their lead.
And I think we're seeing a connection develop today that you may hear of an awful long time. A young wide receiver in Sylvester Morris making a name for himself.
Pete Stoyanovich, the extra point. 7 plays, 59 yards. And it took up 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Gerbach to Morris. That's been the story here at Arrowhead. 21-10. Chiefs in front. Kansas City Chiefs have not opened the regular season 0-3 since 1980, trying to avoid matching that mark as Sylvester Morris says hello to friends and family, I'm sure. And And what a day it has been for the young receiver. 5 catches, 92 yards. This is Kenny Bynum getting an opportunity on the return. Gets across the 20-yard line, and he's brought down by Ron George. Gerback to Morris. Another look.
And this is why the play's successful. Watch the head of quarterback Elvis Gerback. He looks right, turns and plants and throws the ball to his left. Immediately to Sylvester Morris. A quick hit in. Breaks to the outside. Sylvester Morris one-on-one with Darrell Lewis. Watch here. Fakes to the inside. Plants. Boom. There's the hint to the outside. Just a turn. And he's open. And the separation between the defensive back is incredible in a goal line situation.
You made mention of that earlier. Gerback on the deception. And our producer Victor Frank giving us a perfect look at that. Pumping right, looking left, and throwing left. Down to 7:15 to play in the third. Loose football or a sack.
Marcus Patton comes up with a recovery.
Ball was lost, and Patton was able to cover it up. Everything is turned here.
And I talked about it earlier. Watch quarterback Moses Moreno. Watch his feet right there. He doesn't get the snap from center Roman Fortin. He's had mechanic problems with his feet. He's had him step down a few times today. He's gone down one time. Here he just doesn't get him deep enough to get the ball. Center Roman Fortin thinks he's got the handle on it, but he doesn't. Kansas City recovers.
And Kansas City with a 1st and 10 at the San Diego 20. Already leading 21-10. On the give, Cloud bouncing off a tackle, but then the white jerseys able to converge. Ruff missed him initially, and a pickup of about 4.
Say Orlando Ruff is a rough character, coming in and making a stick like that on the running back Michael Cloud head-to-head, but turnover.
Well, Chiefs have lived off them. They have absolutely lived off them in the past, and they're +5 now on this young football season. On a 2nd and 6. Gerback, good protection, throwing, end zone, knocked away at the last moment by Harrison, and a flag down. Gonzalez was the target. And this is just slipping away from the Chargers.
And Tony Gonzalez, this is a play where you want to get your big tight end against the strong safety one-on-one. And over the top, I don't see the penalty.
No infraction on the play for pass interference.
Obviously, the referees didn't see it as well.
I didn't see a penalty on the play.
No, good play.
Good coverage.
Rodney Harrison knocking it away. Flag actually hit Gonzalez in the back. Now Mike Riley making the decision to go with Moses Moreno instead of Ryan Leaf. Leaf with the baseball cap on. Wonder what is down the road for this team that will play host to Seattle next week. On 3rd down, Gerback on the dump off, safety valve. Richardson hurdling a defender, and a 1st down for Kansas City. Tony Richardson able to jump over Darrell Lewis for a pickup of 9.
Tony Richardson brings his lunchbox to work every day. He brought it today. He's wide open. No one covers him, but right here just hurdles over Darrell Lewis to pick up extra yardage for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mano a mano in the open field. He's a player that needs to touch the ball for this offense. The mature running back in the backfield can make plays and create things on the outside.
Line of scrimmage is the 6 on a 1st and goal. Gerback on a handoff. Moreau plunging into a pile, and he picks up about 2. Just about everybody involved on the San Diego defense, with under 6 minutes to play now in the 3rd quarter, and Kansas City with a chance to add to its lead.
Now, it's at a point of the game, Ian. If you're Kansas City, you don't get cute. You're getting points out of this. Smash mouth football. This is what Kansas City, this is what their offense is predicated on. We take the running backs. We've got our big offensive line. We slam it into the middle, and we make you try to stop us.
They've taken advantage of their red zone possessions. This is a 2nd and goal. On the give, Moreau. And he comes up shy of the goal line by about 2 yards. Rodney Harrison with a stop and a pickup of 2. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 2.
In this situation, I wouldn't be surprised. They've gone to the roll pass already in this game, in this situation. They slam the ball in the middle. You get the linebackers to step up, roll to the outside, and dump it off to Richardson again. I think it could be a big play for their offense. They have San Diego right now believing it's in there in a condensed area where it's going to be a run.
Number 70, Marcus Spears, is eligible as a third tight end. 3rd and goal from the 2. Here's Gerback rolling out. Wide open touchdown, Troy Drayton. Elvis Gerback with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. That ties a career high. And Kansas City has exploded here in the 3rd quarter.
And this play is set up by the previous runs in this situation in the goal line. Slamming the ball in the middle, you get the defense to come up and respect the run. It opens up the play for the touchdown pass.
Extra point, Sauerbrunn holding it, Stojanovic kicking it through. First catch for Troy Drayton. And it's a touchdown. Chiefs celebrating their 28-10 lead in the 3rd. For Miami Dolphin, Troy Drayton making his first catch in a Kansas City Chiefs uniform, and it's good for a touchdown. 6 plays, 20 yards. After the fumble recovery by this Kansas City defense. Well, it's looking more and more like Elvis Gerback's going to be able to shave. They lead at 28-10.
He may change his mind. Maybe that beard thing's working.
Well,
maybe it's good luck.
Well, superstition works in mysterious ways. Ronnie Jenkins fields. And Jenkins looking for a lane. Tripped up as he crosses the 30-yard line, and a flag down on the play. Flag on the play as Jenkins is brought down at the 32. Against San Diego, a hold.
Holding number 52 with the receiving team during the return. First down.
John Reeves on the hold.
This is why the touchdown's successful. Watch all the white jerseys here and keep an eye out here. Here's the deception. They respect the run because they've been pounding the ball. All the white jerseys right in the middle, right there. They respect the run. They think it's the run. Here comes the safety right there to the play. Drayton is wide open on this pass route. No one's even next to him. And it all develops because they have to respect the run inside.
Now a tough spot for a young player. Moses Moreno, his team down 28-10. Working out of the shotgun. Still plenty of time. Moreno underneath the coverage to Fletcher, who is dragged down at the line of scrimmage. Lou Bush, the former Charger. Bush was the one that told us that he felt Moses was more dangerous than Ryan Leaf. And he was one of the Chiefs that was hoping to get a crack at Leaf along with Donnie Edwards.
Well, he's had an opportunity because he's the ex-San Diego Charger. He practiced against him last year, played against him last year, and had an opportunity to go against him in practice all the time. So he knew his tendencies of both quarterbacks and Ryan Leaf. He just felt that he could be more dangerous in a situation of coming into Arrowhead Stadium with the pressure here than Ryan Leaf did.
Bush has done a nice job working against tight end Freddie Jones. Moreno under a rush, and Fred McCrary with open running room in front of him. Tackled down at the 40 and a first down for San Diego, and it quiets the crowd. Wesley was forced to chase him down. A pickup of 19.
For quarterback Moses Moreno, Ian, this is a beautiful read. He sees the blitz on the outside. It's the quarterback's man. He's got to get it off to the fullback in a hurry. He hits Fred McCrary on stride, but a great read by a young quarterback. He knows he's going to take a hit on the play. He sees the blitz coming, but he stands tall and delivers the package.
Moreno's numbers 10 for 21, 100 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Play action. Moreno again underneath. This time it's Bynum. And he's tackled at the 47. A gain of 7. Donnie Edwards with a stop. Kansas City scoring 28 unanswered points after San Diego took a 10-0 lead. Michael Dumas with a touchdown return off of an interception. Very little offense to speak of for the Chargers. And San Diego wide receivers thus far, only 2 catches, both from Curtis Conway. The rest of the action through the air has gone to the running backs. On a 2nd and 3, it's a pitch. Bynum has a hold. Kenny Bynum cutting it back. And he's into Kansas City territory, tackled at the 44. McCrary giving him a block. Curtis Conway getting involved as well.
Did you see big Kevin Gogan out there? He dwarfed everybody out there. He's big enough to pull still at 360 pounds. Like big old number 66 out in front here. Gets in front of the traffic, weaves it out, push him out of the way, creates a seam for the running back behind him. Nice job by the big fella. Kevin Gogan can still do it. His 14th year, 6'7", can get out and move. We talked to him yesterday. He told us, I know Joe Bugle. I had him as a head coach up in Oakland. I don't even have to take notes anymore. I've heard it a dozen times.
You're a big Bugle guy as well.
Hughes is a heck of a coach. Out of my 13 years in the NFL, he's my coach 11 of those years.
On first down, Moreno poised in the pocket, now rolling out. Moreno wants to run it. Slides down at the 35-yard line. He'll come up about a yard shy of the first down. And Moses Moreno on the scramble comes up with positive yardage.
And this is the growth and maturity of Moses Moreno in this game. He sees that nothing's there. He looks back. He gets stepped on again for about the 5th time today. Nothing's open. Pull it down and run with the football. Create something positive for his offense. Here's a situation where he's a lot more mobile than Ryan Leaf. And Ryan Leaf in that situation may have taken the sack but not have gotten positive yardage.
There's Joe Bugle, the veteran.
The creator of the Hogs. The Washington Redskins in the 80s took us to a couple of Super Bowls there.
Moreno's got to watch his footwork. He has been stepped on a bunch. That time he stepped on his own feet. And now he's got to worry about the clock. A timeout. 57 seconds to play in the third. Kansas City 28. San Diego 10. And Moreno will go to the sideline.
I think he's had some problems in this game, but I think he's made plays at certain points in this game where you can see some light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, coming up tonight on CBS, if you want to know what's up with the beautiful people, read Liz Smith. If you want to know what's up with Liz Smith, well, watch tonight's 60 Minutes. Followed by a powerful touch by an angel and something to talk about, the CBS Sunday movie. All coming up tonight on CBS. Does it warrant another start next week for Moses Moreno?
I think so. I think that here's a situation the players united around him when the decision was made. They believe in him. He's a cool customer in the huddle. Nothing phases him, and I think that you can grow around a young quarterback like this. But playing on the road in a hostile environment, he's going to take baby steps first. In this game, he hasn't been spectacular. He's made some mistakes, but at least it's a point you can grow from.
Well, he's a local favorite in San Diego, attended Castle Park High School. Actually went against Donnie Edwards in high school. Edwards told us, no, it wasn't much of a rivalry. We asked Moreno, he said, well, by my senior year, we were beating them. Donnie wouldn't know about that. On a 2nd and 1 from the 35. Fake the handoff. Moreno in some trouble. Stepping up in the pocket. Moreno scrambling. And a flag down. Will that be a late hit as Moreno took one in the gut? And now might be grabbing at that shoulder. You're right.
It's going to be a late hit on the play.
And Ryan Leaf is getting ready to check in.
And what's interesting to say, when we spoke with head coach Mike Riley about Ryan Leaf, he said he's in a position where he has to learn now. We expect better things for Ryan Leaf down the road. But the situation is Ryan Leaf is one play away from being our starting quarterback.
Let's take another look at Moreno forcing the action forward. He was trying to lunge for a first down. So the play's over at that point, but he felt something.
I think that was the weight of Dan Williams coming onto his body at 295 pounds, just falling on it. Moses Moreno is not a big player at 200 pounds, just over 205 pounds, 210 pounds. But
yeah, things just crumbled on top of it.
There's no infraction for holding on the play. The quarterback was tackled for a loss.
Now, Johnny Greer informs us no infraction on the play. And, you know, as I looked at it again, no late hit. Just the way the impact came down on Moses Moreno.
And the hardest hits that you receive in the NFL, a lot of people look at the devastating hits out in the middle of the field where a player tattoos another player. Hardest hits is when you're on the ground and someone's weight falls on top of you because you've got no place to go. You're on the surface and you're 300 pounds just falling on top of you. Your bones aren't that strong to hold that. You're not naturally made to hold that type of weight, particularly if the player's 100 pounds heavier.
And they are working on that right arm of Moreno. Well, Ryan Leaf. That's the amazing thing about sports. Ryan Leaf has had a tough go of it so far in this young season. First against the Raiders. They had an opportunity to win that game. They were leading in that game. And last week, not much better against the New Orleans Saints, blowing a 14-point lead.
Being a backup quarterback in the NFL as compared to being the vice president of the United States, you may be one impeachment away of being in there. And for Ryan Leaf, he probably didn't think coming into this game that, hey, I'm not going to be the starter. They took me out. They told me late in the week. There's no chance I'm going to be in there. It's going to be interesting to see Ryan Leaf's mental ability coming in to play quarterback, because right now he's heard the stories of his players saying, I'm confident that Moses Moreno can do a good job, but Ryan Leaf's numbers.
Well, last time he was here in Arrowhead, this was the beginning of the end, if you remember it. 1998, 1 of 15, 4 passing yards. He had 5 turnovers. There's the breakdown, 2 interceptions. It was a complete nightmare for Ryan Leaf. And with 50 seconds to play in the third quarter, Ryan Leaf is going to take the field as the quarterback for this Charger football team. Moses Moreno has been lifted up to a sitting position. I know his entire family is watching in the San Diego area. They were so excited for this. His mom's celebrating a birthday on Friday. And another look. Yeah, again, it doesn't look like one of those things that, oh my goodness, how is this guy able to get up and walk from that? But you just said it. It's those plays on the inside, bodies flying, colliding, and not necessarily the big hits you see out in the open field that cause that kind of damage.
Because the difference is you're prepared for those big hits because you see them coming. He doesn't see this coming. He's creating something, making something happen for the offense. Right here, he's just going down, and the big body of Dan Williams just thrown right on top.
That actually goes down as a sack for Dan Williams.
He'll take it.
Yeah, and a literal sack of Moses Moreno off to the sideline, and lo and behold, Ryan Leaf under center, facing a 3rd and 2 from the 36. Leaf on a dump off. Fletcher has a first down. Terrell Fletcher lunging forward and brought down by Greg Wesley at the 26. Clock continues to roll. A pickup of 10, and Leaf, a cool customer in the pocket on his first attempt.
He definitely was. The pressure was coming right into his face, but it was a nice call to settle him down. A quick little screen, dump the ball off. A very simple play for a quarterback to execute. Ryan Leaf did a good job in the first quarter.
7th catch for Fletcher, 67 yards. Play action. Leaf finds the open man. Freddie Jones, the tight end, trampled down at the 15. Marvin Patton with a stop. And a first down for San Diego. They pick up 12. That is the end of the third quarter. Kansas City leading San Diego 28-10. We'll come back to Arrowhead. And Moses Moreno, the starting quarterback for the Chargers, carted off the field. And for the second consecutive week, the Kansas City defense has knocked out their opponent's starting quarterback. Last week, Steve McNair of the Titans. O'Donnell came in and saved the day. This time it's Ryan Leaf's opportunity. Leaf able to get rid of it in a crowd. Gary Stills among those applying the pressure. Last week in Tennessee, Dwayne Clemens laying out Steve McNair.
Right in the middle of the sternum, and they thought this would be a good thing for the Kansas City defense.
Well, they learned it wasn't, because McNair wasn't doing much offensively for the Titans, and ironically, Neil O'Donnell comes in, the backup, and leads his team to victory. Tennessee has the week off, so McNair with a chance to possibly heal. Here's Leaf on a 2nd and 10, setting it up. Throwing an interception. Lou Bush, the former Charger. Bush trying to work the sideline, and he's forced out of bounds at the 42. How about that? A 33-yard return for Bush against his former team. And while Leaf looked comfortable late in the third quarter, early in the fourth, it's a nightmare all over again.
Great place. I like your neighborhood.
Thanks.
Oh,
Sorry.
Time to buy a Galant. 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments till May 2001 on any new Mitsubishi. Hurry, the Car Envy sales event ends soon.
Need sports equipment.
28-10, Kansas City leading San Diego. Ryan Leaf, who was benched as the starting quarterback this week, gets an opportunity to step in for the injured Moses Moreno, and he turns it over. His career numbers. It has been a major struggle for him. Frank Moreau out to the 49-yard line. And he picks up 6. Tim Grunhard with a block. It's 3 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, and
that's 21 now, I believe. He's got 1 in this game. And for Ryan Leaf, here's the situation: 6 of them, of those 21, are here at Arrowhead Stadium, the turnovers.
Comes in as the number 2 pick in the 1998 draft, just behind Peyton Manning. Bobby Beathard was happy to get him there, figuring he can build an offense around him, and it's not worked out that way. Kansas City, you know what they're going to do. Keep it on the ground, use the clock. Frank Moreau picks up 2 yards. Michael Mooring in on the stop. Mooring, who was fined $7,500 this week by the NFL for his hit on Jeff Blake last week. And it will be 3rd and 2 from the 49. Another look.
And a great job by Lou Bush, dropping into his zone. And as an ex-player playing against a team that you spent your career with, I was in a situation before, you really want to stick it to them. And that's a nice job of Bush coming back, picking off the ball with one hand, his left hand, and getting positive yardage after the interception.
On 3rd and short, airing it out, and a flag comes down. Rodney Harrison trying to handle Tony Gonzalez one-on-one. Pro Bowlers going head-to-head, and Gonzalez wins that battle. Harrison claims it's against Gonzalez.
Pass interference. 37.
He's wrong.
Defense. First down.
I'll tell you, that one could have gone either way, because it looked like Tony Gonzalez was pushing off at the end, but Rodney Harrison was with the first push, and Rodney Harrison had very tight coverage on the play, but not as far as the efficiency. Right here, look at Tony. Look at Tony's left arm. Yep. Harrison's right arm. They're both pushing. Usually they let them play that one off.
So the line of scrimmage is now the 33-yard line of the Chargers. A 15-yard penalty. Kansas City already with a 28-10 lead. Moreau by himself in the backfield. Gerback will throw it. Will timing pattern to the outside. Gonzalez stretching his arms. And Harrison had something to say after the incompletion.
Look what Elvis Gerback's doing on the play. He looks to his left, 2 wide receivers. There's only a one-on-one matchup to the right, a Pro Bowler against a Pro Bowler, but the best tight end in football right now. A nice move by Tony Gonzalez, but the ball is just thrown a little bit too far. But when you single up Gonzalez out there against the safety, you've got to take that shot.
How about Gonzalez going to the Pro Bowl, inviting 18 guests, and losing money on the deal? He was the 2nd guy in NFL history to do that.
Oh, yeah.
The other is to my right. Mark May decided to get married at the Pro Bowl. That was a bright idea.
Yeah, and I threw everybody over. I was the only player fighting in the 4th quarter to win the game.
Couple extra bucks. Moreau breaking tackles and brought down to the 20-yard line. That paid for the shrimp at the cocktail reception, right? 13-yard gain.
They ate hearty. I'll just put it that way. But a nice job on this play. A little sway. You get your tight end pulling, creating a block from Moreau. Good blocking down the field of play, but an excellent job of Moreau of dodging tackles and running through ankle tackles.
That is the one thing about this Kansas City offense. If they can get in front in games, their offense will wear on you. They have big backs. Moreau is 6 foot, 225 pounds. Tony Richardson, a big body. Gerback airing it out to the end zone. Oh, what a grab by Morris. Touchdown, Kansas City. 3rd touchdown of the day for Morris. Gerback with his 5th. That's a career high.
And you talk about wide receivers. When coaches say, go up and take the ball away and get the ball, that's exactly what happened. Sylvester Morris, one-on-one on the outside. Watch the route. Hits inside again. Goes back to the outside. He's one-on-one on the play and just goes right by the defender. Goes up, takes the ball. Go get the ball. Those long arms, that's why they drafted him in the 1st round of the draft.
Extra point, Stoyanovich. And Kansas City, after losing 8 straight games, including the preseason, they have busted out in a big way.
Sponsored by the United States Marine Corps. The change is forever. KFC. Introducing the new Twister from KFC. How good is that? And by Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
35 unanswered points for the Kansas City Chiefs, and they lead it 35-10. Sylvester Morris, the first Kansas City rookie since Lake Dawson in 1994 to go over 100 yards receiving in a game. 6 catches, 112 yards. 3 of those receptions for touchdowns. Ronnie Jenkins from the 1. And Jenkins is tripped up at the 28-yard line. Now, this Kansas City offense, when you looked up and down this roster, yeah, Tony Gonzalez a Pro Bowler, but you still were looking for that one game breaker. They've been searching for one. They may have found one here in Sylvester Morris.
I believe they have. He's had an outstanding afternoon, and he's playing up to the potential that they want from him. When we talked to Elvis Grbac before, he said he's playing like a number 1. It's going to take time for him to develop and get into our offense. We're not going to just develop packages for him. We're going to make sure he gets the ball. Forget the packages. Let's get him the ball, and they have that.
On a first down, now San Diego. Maybe in an impossible hole. Good throw by Leaf to Freddie Jones. And a good piece of concentration from Jones to hang on to it for a pickup of about 10. It's enough for a first down. They'll move the chains. And the clock rolls with 11:55 and counting left in the fourth.
San Diego going with their no-huddle offense. They're going to try to put points on the board as soon as possible.
They haven't been able to put points on the board, though, in quite some time. They led 10-0. Leaf stepping up and throwing on target for Jones at the 45. So back-to-back grabs for Freddie Jones. Log on to NFL.com and follow the performance of your favorite players with the NFL.com Player Tracker on www.nfl.com. 2nd and 4 from the 45. Here's Lee. On a dump off, it's Jones again. Freddie Jones in the Kansas City territory and chased out of bounds at the 39-yard line. So Jones able to pad his numbers with a 16-yard reception.
I think it's about time that the Kansas City defense pays attention to Freddie Jones. Lou Bush is usually the cover man in this situation. He needs to get closer to Freddie Jones and find out where he is, not allow him to run free.
This is Trevor Gaylor on the no-huddle offense, as you mentioned. And Gaylor able to get out to the 31-yard line for a pickup of about 8. Flag on the play. Flags now come pouring down. It was a quick play, a quick snap. Looked like Warfield was trying to call a timeout, and he never saw the football. It'll work against Kansas City. There was some confusion defensively as Leaf took the snap.
Kansas City was trying to sort out what package defensively that they wanted to be in, running players on and off the field.
And we'll get the official word from Johnny Greer as soon as he sorts it out.
12 men on the field. Defense is declined. 2nd down.
It'll be 2nd and 2. The line of scrimmage is the 31. Moses Moreno leaving this game. They had to cart him off the field. Looked like a shoulder injury. We'll try to get official word if possible. Ronnie Jenkins now on the backfield on a 2nd and 2. San Diego clearly in passing mode now, trailing by 25 points. Leaf guns, knocked up in the air and almost intercepted. Gaylor, the intended receiver, and Wesley was the man who had a chance to go down and get it. Greg Wesley happens to be a great story out of Arkansas Pine Bluff. A rookie starting for this Kansas City defense at strong safety.
And Gunther Cunningham is absolutely enamored by him. He plays hard. If you look right there, he's wearing a cast on his left hand. He's got a broken bone in his hand, but he doesn't want to come out. He gets better each and every week.
On a 3rd and 2. Lee is sacked. Back at the 40-yard line. John Browning.
And that is major difference in quarterback between Monis Moreno and Ryan Leaf. Moreno has the speed to run this play. Ryan Leaf does not have the speed, but it's the pursuit by John Browning. He's not fooled by the fake. It's an open boot. The quarterback wants to roll out, but Browning keeps his composure, and he keeps his angles and goes right after the quarterback, Ryan Leaf, for the sack.
Kansas City sack number 6. Even without Dwayne Clemens out there, this defensive line has done an outstanding job today for the Chiefs. On 4th down, and what other choice does Riley have? He needs points. 4th and 11 from the 40. Play clock went to 0-0, but they got the play off. Leaf on a scramble, pump fake, throwing too high for Curtis Conway. He had Conway open, just overthrew it. So the Chargers turn it over on downs. Kansas City gets the football back. When we come back to Arrowhead, the Chiefs with a big lead.
Great place. I like your neighborhood.
Thanks.
Oh,
Sorry.
Time to buy a Galant. 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments till May 2001 on any new Mitsubishi. Hurry, the car envy sales event ends soon.
Introducing 360 degrees of delicious. The new KFC Twister. 2 crispy strips, fresh lettuce, tomato, and a peppery sauce and a warm tortilla. Try the Twister for just $1.99, and today the drink's free.
Your car never nags. It never complains about how much time you spend with the guys. It thinks a little gas is a good thing. Here's to the perfect relationship.
The new CBS Friday will leave you breathless.
I didn't kill my wife.
The chase is on in the most anticipated new drama of the season, The Fugitive. Len, if you think dead men tell no tales,
Left shoe's tied differently.
think again. There is always a clue. CSI. And strap yourself in for a brand new season of NASH. 3 great dramas guaranteed to leave you breathless. The new CBS Friday premieres October 6th.
Okay, sweetie pie, let's see what you got. Oh, come on. You got to do better than that. Come on now. You got to rotate. Come on, Parnevik. Is that all you got? Suck it up.
Not enough?
Yeah, that's good.
Kansas City 35, San Diego 10. Chiefs 9 minutes and 47 seconds away from their first win of the 2000 season. Gonzalez, the motion man, on a 1st and 10 from the 40. On the give for Moreau, picks up a couple going up the middle. Well, Elvis Gerback, 5 touchdowns here today. He's the first Chief to accomplish that since 1967. Len Dawson, Hall of Famer, and now radio analyst for the Kansas City Chiefs radio network. Lenny is just loved in this part of the country.
He is an icon here in Kansas City.
Here's Gerback shouting out instructions to Gonzalez, who now hovers off the line. On 2nd and 8, Gerback throwing. Catch made by Parker at the 50-yard line, and just a good sign to see Parker out on the field. Rodney Harrison with a stop. Parker suffered a back injury earlier on a return.
And how about Elvis Gerback going to the line of scrimmage, patience, taking his time. That's a sign of maturity, confidence in his offense, directing the players where to go, getting back under center, looking at the defense, and throwing a dart for the first down.
Actual record is 6 touchdown passes for the Kansas City Chiefs in a game, held by Len Dawson. Did it back in 1964. Dawson threw 5 3 times. There's Mike Cloud plunging over the pile and crossing midfield. Orlando Ruff with the stop. And the clock is rolling. 8:15 left in the 4th.
And on 1st down particularly, it's no great mystery. When Elvis Gerback walks up to the line, he knows 8, 9 men in the box. They're not going to fool anyone, particularly on 1st down. And San Diego's getting closer and closer to the line of scrimmage. This is a chance to throw the play-action pass over the top, get a big play for their offense, even though they're up by a lot of points. But still, it'll loosen that defense up and give them more room execute offensively.
You know, it's easy to say this in hindsight, but this Kansas City team, when we talked to them earlier this week, they didn't feel like an 0-2 team. Handoff goes to Tony Richardson, plowing forward and down to the 40-yard line. Depending upon the spot, they may give him a first down and some extracurricular activities following the play. Michael Dumas, who is one mean dude. We talked to him yesterday. He's all business.
He's a serious camper. When he came into the room, it was straight focus. You asked the question, you got an answer.
Yeah. But getting back to the point on Kansas City, didn't you get that sense that they weren't acting like an 0-2 team, a defeated attitude? We didn't see that.
Yeah, when they came and talked to us, we were sitting there, and I'm saying the first couple guys, you guys are loose. What's the deal? He said, well, Gunther wanted to keep it loose in the locker room, and we played some tough teams. We made some mistakes. We know how to correct our mistakes, and we're confident we can win this game.
3rd and 1. And trying to push himself forward, Frank Moreau. And again, it depends on the spot. Orlando Ruff providing the impetus on the other side. That's part of it, Mark. They took on maybe the 2 best teams in the AFC the first 2 weeks of the season. That's an arguable point with Baltimore and Jacksonville as well. But Indianapolis and Tennessee certainly cream of the crop.
Oh, absolutely. No slouches there. And they went toe-to-toe, head-to-head with these teams and slugged it out to the 4th quarter. And the 4th quarter, they just couldn't come up with the plays. But I think they knew in the back of their mind that they can compete with the best, the top echelon in the AFC.
Call it 4th and a yard. On the give, Moreau. First down, Kansas City. And they continue to use that clock. Well, they'll move the chains after the 4-yard scamper by Frank Moreau. Now has 12 carries for 43 yards. He has been the main ball carrier for Kansas City so far.
Frank Moreau's the type of back that when we spoke to Gunther Cunningham, he told us point blank, from the waist down, he has everything a running back wants. Powerful legs. He can move them in the hole, can change direction, has the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. He has the total package, and they're expecting big things out of Frank Moreau.
22 first downs now for the Kansas City Chiefs. Compare that to just 10 for San Diego. Moreau getting the call once again, and Darren Mickle making the stop for the San Diego defense. Maybe a gain of 3. We'll call it 2nd and 7.
It's blood and guts time. It's no mystery of what's going to happen. The defense knows it. The offense knows it. It's who has the will right now. Move the chains. If you're an offensive player, it's move the chains time.
I'll give you another one this week from Gunther Cunningham. He read Bill Parcells' book this week. Now that's saying something when a coach admits that he'll read another coach's book. He said, hey, I learned things, and Bill Parcells is one of the greats of all time. On a handoff, Moreau tripped up. And we'll see where they spot the football. He crossed the 30-yard line. It looks like they'll give him about 4. And he'll be short of a first down.
And I think that's just intelligence. That's a coach that knows he doesn't know everything about the NFL and coaching. And if you're smart enough to go back and to research, hey, I can pick up something from Parcells. And he talked about Joe Gibbs, going back to a Joe Gibbs type offense, that I love to go in with basic plays like Joe Gibbs did and out formation teams to death to try to confuse them. And he learned a lot in his years at San Diego, taking copious notes of their offense because he wanted that type of offense. Move the tight ends around, have 1 backs, 2 backs, confuse the defense.
On a 3rd and 3. Spin move by Moreau, and that's enough for the first down. They'll give him forward progress as he picks up 4. And more clock will be used as Kansas City continues to grind it out.
And this is bludgeoning a defense with a dull instrument. Pushing them back. It's nothing pretty. The guys up front, helmet to helmet, pushing back off the line of scrimmage, and they're wearing the defensive front of the San Diego Chargers down. With defensive secondary personnel like that one right there, Michael Dumas is that close to the line of scrimmage and making play after play, you know it's nothing fancy for the offense of the Kansas City Chiefs.
This is such a great football town. Sometimes overreaction, especially after the first 2 games, and Tony Richardson gets the carry and takes it out to the 20-yard line. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. San Diego versus Kansas City. Ian Eagle along with Mark May here from Arrowhead. And the Chiefs leading at 35-10. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast and the Mountain Time Zone. And the point being that you heard a lot of grumbling from the fans this week regarding other players that used to be in Chiefs uniforms helping teams around the NFL. Moreau plunging forward, and he picks up a couple. And Chief fans saying, hey, look at Joe Horn, what he's doing for the Saints. Why isn't he still with our team? Rich Gannon with the Raiders. Andre Rison as well, all helping their new teams. You can't look at football that way. Chiefs made a decision. They went in a different direction with some of these positions, and you certainly can't make assessments like that in the first 2 weeks.
Absolutely not. And here's the other thing. Maybe they didn't fit the philosophy of this football team, what Gudger Cunningham and Carl Peterson want. It's time to move on. They wanted to get younger. They did get younger with this team, and sometimes when you do that, you have growing pains.
3 tight ends in. Gerback throwing. Flag down. Parker, the intended target. And Lewis got him by the shoelaces.
And the cornerbacks for the San Diego Chargers have had tough days today. They are backup cornerbacks, as I said earlier. They are not starters
Pass
for the Chargers.
interference. 26. Defense. First down.
8th San Diego penalty. And the frustration has certainly set in for this Chargers defense.
It's just a deep out by Larry Parker going into motion, playing it out. He's going for the football, and Darrell Lewis just doesn't have a chance. He can't keep up with his speed, and he had problems covering Sylvester Morris earlier when he had him in one-on-one situations.
That's what costs them 16 yards and sets up a 1st and goal from the 1. 3 tight end set. Gerback on the give. Moreau trying to force his way into the end zone, and it's not going to happen. Steve Tovar, first man there. Well, how about for the San Diego Chargers? A different picture entirely. Kansas City feeling good about themselves after this home victory. Chargers now 0-3, and they take on Seattle next week.
If I'm head coach Mike Riley, what I do is I go tell this team in 1992, this team started off 0-4, the San Diego Chargers. We won the AFC West. That's the only thing they can hang their hat on at this moment.
We've hit the 2-minute warning. Kansas City in complete control. 35-10, the Chiefs leading the Chargers. We'll come back to the final moments of the 4th after this. NFL touchdown. And the Chiefs in a complete blowout. 41-10, extra point coming up.
For Kansas City to get off the snide like this at home, scoring a lot of points, very important. If you look at the overall picture coming in at 0-2, they didn't want to go 0-3. Here they run the ball. What they did offensively, they opened up their offense, and they spread the ball around. They were able to stretch the offense around, making it a more potent offense. And I think it's something they can hang their hat on for the next few weeks.
Kansas City has done it through the air. This time it was on the ground for Moreau. 60-yard drive. (42-10), Kansas City dominating the San Diego Chargers, something they are accustomed to here at Arrowhead. And for the Chargers, an 0-3 start. Ronnie Jenkins on the return. Jenkins trying to circle it around the corner. And he steps out of bounds at the 22. Don't forget, coming up, 60 minutes next, except on the West Coast in the Mountain Time Zone. Mike Wallace sit down with gossip columnist Liz Smith. It's coming up on 60 Minutes here on CBS. Well, for the Chargers, Moses Moreno got the start today. A golden chance, great opportunity, but a shoulder injury knocked him out. Late in that 3rd quarter, Ryan Leaf comes on, completes a couple of passes, and then early in the 4th, interception that pretty much sealed it. He was looking for Michael Ricks at the 30-yard line, incomplete. And who knows, Jim Harbaugh is the 3rd quarterback for the Chargers. Does Mike Riley have another decision on his hands between Leaf and Harbaugh for next week if Moreno can't go?
Well, I think next week, if I'm the head coach of Mike Riley, I find out who practices better. Jim Harbaugh right now isn't as mobile as he used to be, but here's a quarterback that's led his teams to 6 playoff appearances. He can do the job. He did a great job for the Chargers last year.
Down to 1:42 left. Here's Leaf, plenty of time in the pocket. Floats one to the outside and incomplete. Curtis Conway, the intended receiver. Well, coming up next Sunday, the NFL on CBS rolls out doubleheader action. Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots meet the Miami Dolphins. Eddie George powers the Titans against the Steelers. And in late action, we have the Jets at Tampa Bay. John Kitna and the Seahawks have a run-in with Junior Seau and the Chargers. And the Chiefs taking on the Broncos. Check your local listings beginning with the NFL Today here on CBS. Shotgun formation for Leaf. Near sideline race. With a jumping attempt. Incomplete. He couldn't hold on to it. It's 4th down.
For Ryan Leaf, I think it's back to the drawing board for the San Diego Chargers, particularly at this point. Going back and looking the way that he came in the game, it looks like he was mentally ready when he started this game. It's just that he could not continue to move their offense and put him in the position to score points. But for Ryan Leaf, he's got to look at the situation. It's another opportunity for me. Now I'm probably going to be the starter again.
Look at those numbers. Just ridiculous what's happened here the last 4 meetings between these two teams. 132-20, the combined score. Bennett gets it off to Lockett from the 14. Lockett on a spin move and brought down at the 20. Rogers Beckett with a stop. And you want to talk about a confidence boost. That's exactly what's happened for this Kansas City team. Coming up tonight on CBS, if you want to know what's up with the beautiful people, read Liz Smith. If you want to know what's up with Liz Smith, well, watch tonight's 60 Minutes, followed by a powerful touch by an angel. Then Julia Roberts, Dennis Quaid, Robert Duvall, and Jenna Rollins star in the CBS Sunday movie. Something to talk about. It's all coming up tonight on CBS. A minute 16 left. Chiefs 42, Chargers 10. And Kansas City content just to take a knee the rest of the way. Kansas City Chiefs had not started a season 0-3 since 1980. That streak will continue. Kansas City will win its first football game of the young season. And what a performance by young Sylvester Morris. 3 touchdown catches, 6 receptions overall, 112 yards. And if people around this league didn't know the name before today, they will know it Monday morning.
Obviously, defensive coordinators are going to start preparing for Sylvester Morris and not let him run freely in the defensive secondary. And they're going to have some matchup problems because of his height and his long arms, and he's only going to get better week in and week out.
Gerback takes a knee once again. And that's it. Kansas City Chiefs get their first win of the 2000 season. They blow out the Chargers 42-10. San Diego remains winless as they fall to 0-3. Next week they take on Seattle. Kansas City will be at Denver for another matchup from the AFC West. Ryan Leaf had a chance to step in. Mike Riley decided to go with Modus Moreno to start the game. Moreno knocked out of the game by the Kansas City defense. And in the end, too much KC, 42-10. That is your final. So for Mark May, this is Ian Eagle saying so long from Arrowhead Stadium. 42-10 the final score. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 35.
Certainly one of the greatest competitors that's ever played the game.
It didn't matter what the situation is. He wanted to win. He wanted to win bad.
You got the one-on-one, bump and run. You got to win.
The legend of